There is only one indigenous broadcaster championing the cause for the restoration of Biafra. Biafra Human Rights Radio. Of course, unstoppable and remains the beacon of truth. It has been so since yesterday, and it is today and forever.
Let rising sun we love and cherish, beloved homeland of our brave heroes. We must defend our lives, or we shall perish. We shall protect our hearts from all our foes. But if their prize is death for all we hold dear, then let us die without a shred of fear. Hail to Biafra, consecrated nation. O fatherland, this be our solemn pledge. Defending peace shall be a dedication. Spilling our blood we count a privilege. The waving standard which emboldens the free shall always be a flag of liberty. We shall emerge triumphant from this ordeal, and through the crucible unscathed will pass. Where
course, Biafra belongs to all of us. Biafra is ours. I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Biafra Human Rights and Freedom Radio Station, which is the embodiment of pro-Biafran groups, being anchored by Diokpa Uchi Ukafo, the man who has simply assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. He hails from Abatete in Anambra State, Biafra land. And by the special grace of the Almighty Creator, I remain George ONYIBE. I hail from Agbo and Yoma province in Delta State. And as customary demand on this platform, I will proceed to acknowledge the members of the De-Facto customary government, men and women against all odds, who understand the very position we have found ourselves and the need to improvise to ensure that this all restoration project is brought to a conclusive end. I acknowledge every member of the parliament as well as the implementation committee. I acknowledge members of the Biafra Nation Alliance and every member of this very noble family. You are such a beauty. You are such sincere and genuine. You found yourself in a crossroad where most of our people are hiding, where most of our people are afraid, where most of our people are confused, where most Biafrans rather choose to lie just to feel someone's ego. But you saw this truth. You know how expensive it is. Standing by this truth could cost your life. Yet for the sake of Biafra, you stood your ground. Acknowledge all of you, from the administrators to the media department, doing miracles, I must say, to the board of trustees and every member around the world. You're highly appreciated. There are men and women out there who are not Biafrans, but you identify with us in this struggle. We'll remember you in our prayers tonight. I also want to remember our misguided brothers. They are generally known as indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, but I think their rank is increasing. Their platform is expanding. And so each time I talk about the indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu, I'm talking about all of them, all of them. It's too late to hide. Directorate of Autopilot, Directorate of Chikedojem, Directorate of China Samuru, Directorate of Uyibu, Directorate of Nnamdi Kanu, Directorate of Ndushin and Yama. I acknowledge all of you. It's just that the head of it all is the Directorate of Nnamdi Kanu, indigenous people of Nnamdi Kanu. The next generation must be wary of them. They are on every platform. Those who are hikers are then disturbing your platform. Those who are recruits, irats, they are there on the platform insulting you. But the point is, we will have to go through this process. And when we are done with each other, all of us will be able to see clearly. Don't take them serious. Most of them have been debrained already. They don't have sense again. With diabolical means, with psychological method, you can name it. You need to pity them. You need to have mercy on them. Acknowledge the Creator, for without him we are gone as a people. Each time we understand that it is the one that set our feet upon this path that we must follow, we confront every situation. We embrace circumstances with confidence, assurance that he will not let us down. It gladdens our heart that though we may change, but he don't change. He that taught Urugugio Akpata neku nwa, he that taught Urugugio Nuga kara kerugo. hidatoturu gio anya nelo wame hidatoturu gio noga kara kerugo. He said. And of course, it's yet another wonderful day. What can we do than to continue to enlighten our people, because we have a nation to deliver. And believe me, the number of enemy we have to fight, they are enormous. Our topic this evening is simply titled A Systematic Approach by the Biafra De-Facto Customary Government on the Restoration Project. A systematic approach. A meticulous approach by the Biafran De-Facto Customary Government on the Restoration Project. Of course, the Biafran Restoration Project. And now, before we begin to look at some issues or areas I need us to consider, I want to remind us. Some people believe we should ignore what happened in 2000. We should not forget about what happened in the ancient time, and let's talk about what happened now. I understand your mindset. I understand the point you are trying to make, but that is the problem. You see, our ancestors, our fathers before us, they saw life from a different perspective. They understand things that stood before them as miracle. They were able to code and uncode situation and circumstance. They made discovery. Every moment of my life, I want to know who these people are. I study everything they have done, whether you call it primitive, whether you call it product of evolution, anyhow you want to please them. I respect them. If I have to digress further, as a black man, our ancestors have been able to invent different kind of food. Let's go by that. And most of this crop we use for feeding, which I can categorically tell you that our own indigenous food. In fact, you need anointing to be able to eat it as a European. And so you cannot tell me that apple was discovered in America. You cannot tell me that egusi is discovered in China. It's not possible. Rather, they are learning from us. And then I begin to value them. How could they take cassava, process garri, process apple, considering that this very plant contains chemicals that are harmful, hazardous, toxic to the system? It can kill you. They took the risk. They did the study. And today, we can manipulate this food in different dimensions. But the people who invented it were primitive. So when you say, forget about what happened there, it doesn't concern us there. This is where Africans are losing the whole thing. Go to different archaeologies around the world. Go to many advanced nations supposedly. A little stone they will discover in Egypt, they will spend the whole century trying to decode the secret of knowledge behind each of those pilements of stone as discovered in Kush or Egypt. Not to mention any other part of the world. And so each time you say, forget about what happened before and let's move on, you don't got to move on. Africans and black people ignoring the past is the reason why we are still here. And somebody tell me my ancestors is a primitive. I don't even believe animals are primitive. So why would I believe that? And then another say they are evil. I don't even believe all these things. I do not say they are perfect. And I never said I am perfect. But I want to remind us that every event that has happened in the past create a more conducive atmosphere for us to survive in the future. And when you talk about future, today is the future we have been looking forward to yesterday. And so I call upon you, Biafrans, we must study everything. If you don't know where you are coming from, how can you possibly tell me you know where you are going to? It is not possible. And so people without the true knowledge of who they are like a tree that has no root. You're not going anywhere. The reason why I'm bringing this up, because some of these things don't make sense to you. But beneath them are hidden the secret code that will lead us to another stage in life and give us all the victory we need. But of course, you ignore them at your peril. Today, we see the position we have found ourselves in this Biafra restoration project. A lot of things has been happened. Some has merchandised all of us because they are career freedom fighter. They lie more than the devil. And when you confront them with love, they challenge you and blackmail you. And today, we don't even know who is the enemy or who is responsible. And some of us are working very hard to cover the truth. And in the midst of all this hulu balu, we do them in the expense of our people. But at least we have been exposed to certain light of knowledge. And so we cannot be bamboozled by anybody. We understand how every journey is going to end. And we pray that all of us be on board the same ship. And so that moment we decide to draw down our anchor, we will all unanimously agree that that place is indeed a safe harbor. Anyway, I don't expect everybody to understand. And so this evening we are going to go down the memory lane to look at certain issues as regard us as a people and as it affects the Biafra restoration project. The position we find ourselves today is not new. We are not the first to be there, and we are not going to be the last. The people of the world will continue to seek for emancipation. The people of the world will continue to yearn for freedom. The people of the world will continue to fight. There will be revolution. Every country as created by man, all of them will be destroyed. Forget about those who are standing to protect them. Because nature will fight against his own, he will fight for his own cause. It must be restored naturally. But many people will have to die. Many people may have to lose their life because of wrong applications of issue. Many countries in Africa fought for independence. But they are not truly independent. It was manipulated. Because a lot of issues were not addressed. South Africa fought against apartheid. It was removed. And so the indigenous has political power in their own ancestral land, which was not like that before. But may I remind you that economically, that there is still economic apartheid going on in South Africa. No, that is not our discussion this evening. Nigerians supposedly had independence. But every Nigerian should know that we don't have independence. When it is the British government that decide what we eat, how we eat, where we go, who lead us, and the rest of it, let's not pretend these things are not true. It's okay we were conquered, then accept we were conquered, and also agree that our life is being manipulated. We're going back to the memory lane. Let's look at it. But like I said, we are not the only one that have been here before. And so, let's cite American as a case study. American was the land of the natives, invaded by the British government at a particular time, and then brought many countries together and merged them under their colony. And so they begin to colonize America. They begin to rule America. America went through hell. They saw situations and circumstances that are not palatable to them. There were deliberate attacks on American citizens. Many of them were killed. Everything that existed in America was for the best interest of the Britain. Yes, they conquered them, it's okay. And so America has to live under certain uncalled for constitution, very bad condition rather. But of course we are human. And so along the line, the people of America said, we can't take this any longer. It was a complex situation because you now have British America, the loyalists, you now have different tribes in the same America, but all was for the overall interest of the colonial master. And in order to put an end to this, like the issue of Biafra, like the issue of Nigeria. Nigeria is a country which I call the prison of many ethnic nationality. The same formation Britain used to create America, the same formation they use for other nations. They brought all of them under one umbrella, not for the overall interest of the people, but to advantageously position themselves to reap the economic benefit and exercise absolute control over each of these territories. Because the more they put all of us together in one cage, it becomes a jungle where the strongest win the day for themselves. And when you are a loyalist to their system of governance, automatically you will be supported by all the allies involved in that process. And at the end of the day, you rule others. You can see it in Nigeria. But now the American people understand that the position they have are now, it cannot continue. It takes genuine men. And what did they do? They mobilized themselves. And so in 1775, Americans were driven to seek a complete separation by various forces and consideration against the shedding of blood by the British troops, among others. They said to themselves, let us form a stable republic, a republican government, in an area extending for 1,000 miles along the Atlantic seaboard. First of all, they mobilized themselves and said the British killing another atrocity against humanity in the name of colonizing us cannot continue. And now we have Yoruba, and now we have Hausa, and now we have Fulani, and now we have Igbo, and now we have Ibibio, we have Efik, we have Enang, we have... Let us mobilize ourselves. Those of us, let's mobilize ourselves. This is what Americans said to themselves. We have different countries, different nations, different states. Most of you don't know why they call it United States. Under the British rule, it was not United States. It could be a united colony. But were they truly united? Because if they were, nobody would have called. Nobody would have mobilized the people. They said, let's mobilize ourselves and put an end to this inhuman, degrading treatment meted upon us as a people. And why did they come together? When they mobilized their people, the next thing they did was to form a government. And so by 1976, George Washington and other members of the Patriots initiated a revolution that led to the declaration, or that made the British government to declare America as a rebellion state. They mobilized themselves. Having come together, reasonable men like George Washington, among others, at that time, understand that we don't reason the same way. The way they behave in New Jersey is not the way they behave in Washington, D.C. And there is a bit of difference when you go to Alabama. And I'm very sure they have unique features that makes them different. And there are things you can do in New Jersey. You cannot do such things in other parts of America. And so for them to be able to function, they need a government. Though all this mobilization started in 1775, and so a year later they were able to form a government. The government that later introduced the parliament, and from the parliament they were able to dish out the governance code. I'm just trying to make you understand so you know where the de facto customary government is coming, and the need why all of us must stand up and embrace the process. Am I telling you it is run by angel or Messiah? No. The people who manage it can decide to mess us up tomorrow, and then we change the music of the drum. But at the moment, they are in accordance, and this is the best shot we got to take, and we have to take it. And so the American having mobilized themselves, they formed a government. And because they formed this government, they were declared a rebellion colony by the British government. If you're listening, you can relate it to what we are going through today. Only that we missed some part in the past, but we will correct all of them as we proceed. And so when they declared them a rebellious leader, it was declared a rebellious state, they formed a progressive formation, which led to revolution or revolutionary government in the colony state. And the Second Continental Congress cut ties with Britain one by one. Another Congress was set up, and the plan they had is, let us denounce Britain. I mean, yes, because each of them had their own Congress, and so one after the other they rejected Britain, they abandoned Britain. And that was a progressive formation. And so at the length on July 2nd, 1776, the Congress speaks for all America. With the aid of this government that have been established, they now have a voice. They served for the last 1 year declaring this united colony, we have to be free and we need to be independent states. And so days later, this very approval gave birth to the Declaration of Independence, wherein the patriots set forth the reason for their action which they have taken. Of course, Committee of Congress drafting the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia in 1776. This was the handwork of Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Allo Livingston, and Roger Sherman. In the USA Capitol, Washington, D.C., the member of this Continental Congress signed the Declaration of Independence. And so, having come up with such government, they have their governance code, and then the Declaration of Independence. In the Declaration of Independence, the patriots rested their case solely on natural right of mankind and the law of contract, setting aside parliament as a pretender. Legislative, you have Thomas Jefferson, and the Congress proved to their own satisfaction that George II has grossly violated the compact and invoked the right of revolution. They understand the process they are supposed to make. They follow this systematically. Some time ago, we reviewed how the Israel got there. They follow this systematically. There was deliberate plot by the British government during the era of colony in India, colonizing India. The people were impoverished. Bangladesh, among other countries, they were all India. Package all of them together. Jungle. But one of the greatest weapons used against India was poverty. Poverty, very stinking one. There was still revolution. And another word to call gentleman, another name to call gentleman war is revolution. But of course, Mohammed Gandhi, they introduced a non-violent approach. But go and look at the history. They have tension growing up every day. We know the rules. We know the pattern. We know the process. We just need to be more diplomatic in approach of things. And of course, systematically engage every involved party that meticulously driving our message home. Go and look at the history of China. Under the same British rule, something provoked them. And now what are the moral lessons in what I have just said? If we take time and consider what I have said and compare them in this case of Biafra, Biafrans are fully informed. We are aware Nigeria is not what it should be. The level of confusion has gotten to an extent. Those who are afraid to talk about secession, we say, okay, change constitution. Ask them in their heart of hearts, they don't want constitution to be amended. They are tired of Nigeria. But of course, they don't want to be hunted down by Nigerians. Most of them are afraid to mention Biafra. We understand. We still find ourselves in the position, those who are saying, give us resource control. They are afraid to say it. Because you may end up the rest of your life in jail. Devolution of power. Go and ask those calling for restructure. If they have another English to change restructure so the system will not attack them, they will do that. Of course, the system may allow you to use all these languages, not hunting you down, because you have not even done anything yet. And so it is obvious all of us are tired of Nigeria. I'm talking about Biafrans. But unlike the Americans, they followed process. Certain individuals who meant well for their people came together and said, we cannot take this bloodshed again, indiscriminate killing of Americans. One of our greatest weapons used against us is that we are divided against ourselves, united colony. What are we as Biafrans in Nigeria? United, conquered, or what exactly should we call ourselves? We have record of indiscriminate killing, to mention but a few. But then, for us to move ahead and say we want our own country, for us to move ahead and remove the influence of the colonial master out of our system, the first thing is to mobilize. How do you mobilize? I keep telling Biafrans, whether you are from Ejo, you are from Igede, you are from Yala, you are from Idoma, you are from Egala, you are from Agbo, you are from Umbitoru, you are from Umbise, you are from Igbo, you are from Efik, you are from Ibibio, you are from Anang, you are from Ogoni, you are from Andone, you are from Andone, you are from Abua, Ahuda, Adua, you are from Ipie, you are from Itie, you are from Urobo, Ishekiri, Abraka, Ole, Okwane. Wherever you come from, those of you who are Biafrans, you know already. Let me tell you what will happen. It needs to be mobilized. Because we reason differently. We have found ourselves in the same place. We need to mobilize ourselves. We did this very well. We almost brought everybody on board. Because the truth is that nobody is helping anybody here. Categorically, if you like, come out. If you don't like, don't come out. Nobody is helping anybody here. A German stand up and say, we want Nigerian to divide. My brother, you are not helping anybody. You are helping yourself. Igbo man say, divide Nigeria. My brother, you are not helping anybody. You are helping yourself. There is need to mobilize. And what is the formation? What is the essence of this mobilization? Because we have certain areas of our life that differs. But of course, our value system are the same. We need this mobilization to create a platform for dialogue. Seed of discourse has been sowed among us in time past, and these issues have not been addressed. And so we live in the prison of fear. That prison must be broken. But some are so comfortable in their prison, if you want to set them free, they can term you as enemy. And so when you mobilize, you see people with different character. People with different ways of life, functions. And what do? To create a fair platform for them to operate. Americans understand this. George Washington and the rest understand the importance. This is one place we have failed today. And that is what has led us to where we are. And sometimes it's appalling. It looks wicked to me that our leaders, as far as this agitation is concerned, all of them understand the need to form government. In fact, there were government upon government that were in existence, but all of them were silent by Nnamdi Kanu. He cannot go anywhere. Today, if we have government in place, he will not do most of the things he did. And I don't think I can be able to talk to him the way I did. Because he will be guided by the constitution, or maybe the bylaw, or modus operandi. And so anything he will do, or has done, or is going to do, will be guided by this rule. And this rule does not serve the interest of any single individual. It protects the overall interest of everyone. We needed this government. Their unique function are enormous. They are to create different platforms that will carry this gospel across the globe. Engaging in negotiation and other necessary requirement tools, putting them in place for us to be able to go home. No government. No government. And having formed the government moved ahead. They have a project. They declare revolution, war. They declared war. The government of America declared war. They call it revolution. It's war. So this time they say, oh, there was revolution. It is not a night party. It is war. That is a Gaiman way to call war. So you don't look evil. They would have said Nigerian revolution or Biafra revolution. But we will not be demonized by that word. Very melodious. So they call it war. The government was ready for what will happen. The government have been able to integrate the necessary state. They say now from today, we are the United States. We are not United Colony. We are United States. Every colonial master, get out of our land. War broke out between America, United States of America, and her colonial master, Britain. The fourth, Britain lose the war. Why will Britain lose the war? With all their influence within the American continent, with their supports ally like France among others. Why would they lose the war? Because the people of America understand that the secret is united. Unification. Today we are destroying everything we have labored almost a decade trying to install, which would have led us home. And some of us are very happy, rejoicing over our stupidity. May the Lord be with all of us. And at the end of the day, Britain lost the war. And this government moved ahead. All the component member states that makes up America, all of them endorsed. The process has started already by the De-Facto Customary government. Pro-Biafran groups are coming up. Of course, there is more to do aside that. Every ethnic nationality in the Biafran territory must be recognized and have a representative that will represent their people. And so what happened? They passed the Declaration of Independence. They signed it. They initiated the government. And for the first time, all of them speak with one voice. Only Nnamdi Azikiwe could not have been able to get Nigeria supposedly independent. But they needed the mobilization of the West, the South, and the East. All of them went as one entity. And even though it is not in the interest of the Britain to give us independence, they do not have choice. And so the supposedly independent machinery was created with a pendulum of chaos, and which every process trying to stop this pendulum of chaos, it lead to more disaster. That is how we got here. The moral lesson is that the people of Biafra must understand we have been mobilized already. Thank God for all the agents of mobilization. But the platform is broken. Its leg is not complete any longer. So there is need for us to patch it in order to move ahead. And at this stage, there is nothing we need more than the De-Facto Customary government. Understand, they do not speak for themselves. They strategically look at avenue to be able to engage the system diplomatically, politely, and then get us out of this misery. If Americans can initiate these processes, and today look at them. If China and Japan can initiate these processes, today look at them. If India can initiate these processes, today look at them. Even Martin Luther King, he understands the essence of mobilization. He understands the essence of mission statement. He never called for Americans to divide. He never said they were being marginalized. He never said they needed more welfare package and among others. He asked for equality. He had a dream of equality. Of course, blacks Americans are not 100% enjoying equality in America yet. But at least the difference between equality right in America today and as of the day of Martin Luther King Jr. is like day and night. You follow these processes, Biafrans, we can open 100 radio stations. We can fight ourselves and create militia groups. We can blackmail each other and put up every form of shenanigans. You must follow the process. And now we are at that moment. The De-Facto Customary government are working tirelessly. I talked about the governance code. This should be considered or compared to the Declaration of Independence. But of course, it needs to be worked on. Signed and agreed by every component member nation that is involved in this territory referred to as Biafra. And so it is still work in progress. During the broadcast of Audio Guinea, Dr. Okado said something and it caught to my spirit. He said, go and get your PVC. We are not telling you vote or don't vote. At this moment, The de facto customary government has not asked you to vote or not to vote. But they say, go and get your PVC. And in the words of Dr. Kado, because it's going to be your tools, it's going to be your weapon, it's going to be instrumental to what we're about to do next. We cannot open everything up here. There are one or two things I would have said, but it's not necessary. I'm not a politician, and as far as this my life is concerned, I'm not going to be a politician. But I can help politicians to do better. Those who have politics running in their blood, I can help them to do better, encourage them to do it. The process has started already. The process has started already. Then Chukwemeka or the Megujuku was able to get to the level he got to because government institution was informed within his cycle. He was government himself. Some people may say, don't get PVC. My brother, you are the one disenfranchising yourself. Go and get your PVC. Go and get your PVC. A lot of activity is going to come up. And some of the years seek to view, to hit this target, is tied on your PVC. We know this truth already. We shy away from it. Because some of us in the past has done something wrong. And to cover our track, we now begin to condemn those things that would have helped us ordinarily. Because if we introduce them, your hypocrisy will be exposed. But we cannot continue that way. We cannot. If truly we want a better life for our people, if truly we believe in fairness, justice and equity, if truly we want constitution to be reviewed, power to be devoluted, if indeed we want restructure, resource control, if indeed we want the Bill of Rights to be implemented, the earlier we mobilize ourselves and form strategies, formation to progress, the better for all of us. Today we are supposed to embark on revolution, but they have turned the revolution to armed struggle, banditry, kidnapper, rapist, drug addicts. Is that revolution? No Nigerian can come out and say, oh, we love Nigeria, everything is okay, we are normal, we are okay. No, 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 no. Somebody have to, a lot of things is bad. With the office of the Standard Organization of Nigeria, they are still importing water for you to drive in your automobile. And somebody is telling me under normal circumstances, the Standard Organization is not supposed to be sent to her. But of course, it's Nigeria. They say, well, it is God work. A devil has work. Let's pray to Jesus to help us. I thought we have Standard Organization. So if Nigeria cannot guarantee ordinary petrol that your vehicle will use, are you telling me they are monitoring the food being imported into this country? Certainly, because we cannot tell ourselves the truth. I cannot blame Buhari, though he's in charge of NNPC. But there is a special squad, a special unit, a special platform to monitor standard organization, to monitor food, drugs, among other things. What are they? It's standard organization. And so nobody can truly come out and say, I'm satisfied with Nigeria. But it's almost 100 years. We have been trying to live as one. It's not working. Why can't we have agreement now and separate like another 100 years? If it's still the same, then we can come back. The people of Biafra, don't let anybody deceive you. We are going through the normal process. Only that in most cases we have miscalculated. If we truly want to be a light to this world, this universe, this is the time for you to bring your head down and reason very well. By now you should have learned. There is no amount of name comment that will deter us from this path. No amount of humiliation, harassment, You should understand by now which one we never see. The very platform meant to save us. I have been there. I listened to it. Oh, ONYIBE, he drink kai kai. ONYIBE, he drink kai kai. He's a womanizer. He sleep with people's wives. He collect money from Wiki. Haji Zakalu gave him money. He's evil. He's evil. I am still here. Oh, Uche Mefo is going to have a meeting with Asare. They are sharing money in Cameroon, Benin Republic. Hey, Uche Mefo is evil. Hey, up to the extent of Tinku. How many will I see? But we still remain on our duty post. Because you will thank us later. We still remain on our duty post. Because we know we are not helping you and you are not helping us. Whatever we are doing it for the overall interest of the next generation. For God's sake, how many lifetimes do we have? What is the essence of this broadcast this evening? You must not only rise up and support the Biafran De-Facto Customary government led by Alhaji Asare Dokubo, but you must learn to be part of that process. Don't let them tell you. If they tell you, you need to have your say. And that will bring us to another chapter. There is a difference between individual opinion, decision, and then a communal opinion or decision. You cannot allow personal opinion to overrule a communal opinion. But by every means necessary, communal opinion must supersede individual opinion. And so when you are coming to have your say in your say, make sure what you are fighting for protect the overall interest of everyone. Or the interests of others are drawn to that board. Or else you will walk in error. Be part of it. Rise up. We have a nation to deliver. Most of our people in the village don't even know what we are saying. We cannot abandon them. We cannot initiate processes that will consume them. When Muhammad Gandhi told you in India, it's a peaceful revolution, not violence revolution. Have you seen a war without violence? But they were able to pass their message clean, true, short, because they have a government. If we have a government on this agitation platform by now, there would have been room for every department to function independently without overemphasizing the need to create a god, but rather create a nation. If this government was in active action, doing what they are supposed to do, believe me, we will not be here by now. We almost got it. But we failed it all. Let the people of Biafra rise. Once, put on your thinking cap. Activate your thinking faculty. It is not too late for us to go home. At this moment, our lines are open. And if you are opportune to call in, you make your contribution. If you cannot access the studio line, you are encouraged to call through my private media line. That is, if you can get them. The direct line is 070. Rather, the direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971. That is the direct line. And then the WhatsApp line is 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642 is the WhatsApp line. And so if you are able to access the platform, you are free to call in and make your contribution. The de facto customary government are still there doing all they have to do, all they can do, because we really need to go home. We really need to go home.
For the creation of the sovereign state of Biafra. It is within my right as a legislator to do that on the floor of the House of Representatives. If I don't do it there, where else do you want me to do? Do you want me to carry arms?
Nhọpụta a ga-eme n'ala anyị n'afọ 2023 ndị be anyị isokwa wee nọrọ na nzukọ ebe a na-atụpụta alụ maka ọdịmma obodo anyị bụkwa nsọsọ ụzọ anyị ga-esinwu wee nweta ọchịchị obi anyị maka inweta nnwere onwe ma chiwazie onwe anyị dịka ndị Biafra maka na ike nọdụ ala eze atọ ọjị gaa gbaa ma natakwa akwụkwọ ikike eji ebinye aka n'oge nhọpụta nke gị bụ PVC maka inye aka n'inweta ọchịchị obi anyị bụ Biafra site n'udo na ọnwụ. Ozi a siri n'aka ndị Biafra de-facto customary government.
Lines are open, and don't forget the Biafra de-facto, the Biafra Human Rights Radio. You can get us on FM 100.2. You can get us on the satellite, Simple Radio, on the app. You can visit our website so that you can be able to get the necessary information to be part of this great move. The journey has just begun, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Those of you in Anambra, those of you in River State, some part, you can receive this very radio station on 102.5. This is the time for us to go home. This is the time for us to do the needful. I'll be back in a minute.
Clearly shows where the true Israelites are and where the Messiah is going to gather his people. Judah, he's going to gather from the four corners of the earth. But the other tribes, he will gather from beyond the rivers of Cush in Africa.
Yes, at this moment I am joined by Dr. Okado. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, please, Joba. Good evening, Joba.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. I'm very, very glad to be with you. Speaking is Enrico Cadiz from ATT. ATT is not Kiva province of Biafra. Well, thank you. You've said it all. And then, as I said, you have the language of the commoners. Let's put it like that. You made the communication, the information to the direct mind of all our humble citizens. That's how it should be. We have to make the communication information to be simple. It's as simple as anything. That civic education is the way now. We have run around the streets of the world, our women roll their bodies on the street begging for, and then we know where they landed us. This has been done for a decade. We didn't achieve anything from it. Although saying anything completely might be exaggeration, but what I mean, it appears we are where we are. So an innovation must be introduced. NENAS has been a very, very ponderant, as I used to say, in their position, and Biafrans that matter have shown great interest. They've done a very great academic and intellectual work, but as it could be seen, they are stopped. There's no doubt about that. They are stopped now, because you can't say no election 2015, no election 2018. You're trying to say again no election 2020. No, it's not like that. Though they have been timid with their approach, over Biafran's position. But the point is that we have been showing apprehension towards all their effort, and demonstration that we are ahead of them has been manifested now. We've noted all their effort all this while, and that's why we've put on the ground now the civic political education. That's the way. What's that civic political education? No need we in diaspora, particularly deceiving our people. You're not a Nigeria, you're not that deceit and lies is gone. The issue now is that we are Biafrans by fact and indigenous identity, and we are Nigerians by political identity. Our forefathers fought for that nation, though the nation wanted to consume us. Unfortunately, we are the remnants that survive. And then we cannot stay maybe to allow a house of Fulani or Yoruba to tell us you are not Nigeria or you are not. No, we have to impose it on them. We are even more Nigeria than them, but being our creature, we can determine its destiny also. So the point is that we have made a decision. Our forefathers, they have made their point. Their point is clear. The Republic has been created. We are not, what we are talking about is restoration. The Republic has been created. We are talking about restoration. So the issue now is that this civic education that has been distorted and put in a deceitful manner has to be made very, very clear to our people. Something went wrong in between, and then the Biafran customary, de facto customary government is here to correct it. What shows our dynamics and our strength is legality, civility, and that of education. These three principles must be respected and carried forward. So the civic education, as I've made mention before, Edozuno has brought it to the ground. Who is trying to play pranks over this could simply follow his analogy or his explanation. If you want to have your marriage certificate, which many of us need, or your academic qualification, is it Republic of Biafra that gives it certifies that, or that gives it to you? For decades now, it has not been like that since the capitulation of the Republic of Biafra, surrender. That's since 15 January 1970. All these things has been issued by the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whether we like it or not, that has been the reality. And then this civic education must be made known that consequentially, now what we have is that we are having the political identity of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our academic qualification is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our birth certificate is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our traveling passport is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Even what is holding Nande is his double game and deceitful game that he played. While he is communicating others to burn their passport, he was playing seek and hide with Nigerian passport and British passport. So because of not being so, the issue now is that this thing has to be made clear to our people. The civic education is that. And then what are we trying? What is the scope of Biafran de facto customary government? The scope of the Biafran de facto customary government is saying that you must Be aware of this education. Know this education. Know yourself for you to be able to claim what belongs to you. When we must have grasped this, we can then stand firmly and with shoulder high to participate and be represented. Because if we are standing under denial, that brings about of no vote, defranchisation, which is also another disaster that let me bring again diaspora in question, that the diaspora has succeeded in impacting on our people, because it wasn't like this before. This bad education came from those who claim to bring freedom to our people. So the point is that when we have this standard civic education, we can be able then to move for our representation and participation. And what instrument do we have for that? The instrument is PVC. So we must all go. You have said it all. Everyone now, there should be mass testing. It's funny now that we that introduced the government in that part of Africa is the people lacking behind. That even Hausa and Fulani, they are knowing the meaning of franchisation more than us. Is it not shameful that they go to have their voting rights? We are lagging behind, franchising ourselves, talking rubbish, hiding in the bush. That's very pathetic. And then I think Biafra De-Facto government must invest all. That's, I may say that that's the highest scope it has, and that must have to be achieved within 2023. Biafran citizens must be mobilized to go and have their PVC first. Now, that's what are we telling them to go and vote for this or that? Everyone should go and have the PVC. It's very, very important. That right to vote is very, very important. We should stop defranchising ourselves. And we can do that. When we do that, the discussion becomes simple. Do you want certificate of academic certification that reads the Republic of Biafra? It will be possible. Do you want birth certificate that will read Federal Republic of Biafra? It will be possible. You don't have to doubt this. Even our illustrious sons, they have demonstrated this silently. Even that in this case merit honorary medals for what they have done silently and combatively, just alone, without looking behind or without treading on. Our illustrious sons, they have shown that at the corridors of power where decisions matter, they can stand shoulder high and ask what happened to Biafra. So this is the issue now that the Biafra De-Facto government, we must bring this discussion home. The politics of Biafra must be brought to light within the Nigerian polity. It's a democratic, it's a legal, democratic and civic manner of doing it now. We have let's say maybe we have to thank God, having at least at this stage realized ourselves. But it's the way to go. As I repeat, you can say all these things better than me, but please, we must stick on this. And kudos to all your effort. We must bend on this. It is possible. 2023 is an important date to mark in all these efforts we have made over all this struggle. I know that, however, important change in life is being done. If you see major inventions that have changed human life, it wasn't done by multitude. It's normally done by individuals that are endowed or that are blessed, one word or other. So we shouldn't bother ourselves over number or all this ranting over social media. Let's pass this information shoulder high and prudently. This is the way to go. We don't need to defranchise ourselves. That's very disastrous. It's a mayhem that has befallen our people, which we've never seen since our existence. That we encourage ignorance, and this time, you know, when ignorance leads people, it's violence and anarchy that is manifesting in many parts of our homeland now. So thank you very much, ONYIBE, for giving me this opportunity. I always like to be with you, and thank you for having me. Speaking is Emeka Okado. As I said before, Emeka Okado is from Etiti. Etiti is not Kiva province of Biafra. Thank you very much, and good evening from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining. We must continue. Our people must understand this is the time that we have to make amends. This is the time that we have to correct the errors of the past. This is the time that we must take advantage of the information at our disposal for the overall interest of our people. Go get your PVC. Presidential election is coming up, 2023. You need your PVC. Caller on WhatsApp.
Hello.
Good evening from here.
Good evening, my brother, my lovely mentor, and my brother Uchemefo. I love you. God bless you, my brother, for welcoming me in your program this night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy, yes, to join you this night. And each time I join you, after discussing with you, I go home, I sleep happy, because I know that I spoke with an intelligent and a peaceful man. You know, I just called you this night once again so as to thank you for the good work you are doing, and so as to use this opportunity to correct some people, because most like yesterday you were online. All this while now you've been online, and I have been following you. Though I was suspended by Facebook. That is why I have not been able to comment. Then yesterday I followed some people. Then I wrote you were online. You couldn't reply me. Then today you still came online, and then you called me. I'm very, very happy. My brother, you are doing a very good work, and you are doing a very good job. And I want to use this opportunity to correct our people. More especially you people that delight in writing nonsense on a comment section. I want to use this opportunity to correct people, because you people have been brainwashed as an anti-Uchemefo without going down to know the truth. To what happened. You whatever you want. My brothers, I want to use this opportunity to correct you people. You people are making big mistakes. Big mistakes. I was opportunity to listen to Simeon Ekpe yesterday. He mentioned Uchemefo. He said a word that touched me yesterday. I was opportunity also to listen to Obi-Wan some time ago. He mentioned Uchemefo, and he spoke a word that touched me, showing that Uchemefo is a good man. Yes. So you don't just come and start fighting Uchemefo or start writing nonsense on a comment section where you've not gone to know the true story of what happened between him and IPOB. This freedom of a thing that we are fighting is individual. Everybody, if you contribute, I contribute, it will work. Nobody have gotten the Biafra already. We are still agitating. We are still bringing it to the table of our people. We are creating awareness. So let it not be taken that we have achieved it, or people will be taking it personal and be fighting each other. We all are Igbos. we better pray and bring unity and love among ourselves instead of fighting this person, destroying this person. Most of the things that are happening in IPOB now did not happen in 2015 when Nnamdi was in the prison and the IPOB was being controlled by the same Uchemefo. Igbo people, Nigerian people, I don't know whether I want to say they work. 2015, Nnamdi was in prison. The person that handed IPOB was Uchemefo. All these crises that we are hearing today, this person want to eat money, this person, we never had it. We never had it. You people that are writing nonsense on the comment section, because I am going to make it as a work now. I will call for you people. I will be replying you people. What you don't know is bigger than you. What you don't know is bigger than you people. You people should stop writing nonsense on the comment section. If you don't know Uchemefo, go and ask people that know Uchemefo very, very well. They will tell you. I made it as an obligation to do investigation. I finished the investigation and I came to the conclusion that Uchemefo is a good man. It's not as if because he's the one that is in charge of this program, or I want him to praise me. He never knew me. I never knew Uchemefo. It was on the line that as I'm just talking to him now, after my investigation, I came to find out that he's a good man. So I want to use this opportunity to tell our Igbo brothers, please, man, retrieve, and listen to Uchemefo before you start nailing him on the cross. Come back and listen. Go, tell them, let them tell you the truth of what happened between him and IPOB. You people should not just be concluding because you've been brainwashed and you people became an anti-Uchemefo. Stop it. He cannot help us to. We are not going anywhere with it. Yes. So, my brother, I want to thank you. Please, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. And of course,
thank you, my brother. Continue the good work. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's just a matter of time. We will be as much patient as we can till our people know the truth. We certainly don't have anything against any of them. We just want the truth to prevail. Each time I come on air, for over 4-5 years, I will tell you that Mazemefo is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. I end it with a clause. I do not expect everyone to understand these words. Mazemefo is an angel. And if 30% of Igbo people are like Mazemefo, they will go to heaven and come back in this their terrestrial body. You people will not understand. It's not because of this color. I have seen human being in form of angel. Mazemefo is one of them. We were in this process. Many people were there. Not only was he able to talk one through as a father, he's as humble to lower himself as a son, even a brother, as a neighbor. Very patient in the face of affliction. Chike Doziem, Tony Zulumike, China Sangwuru, Azaye Oba, Choko the former. If you see how they treat Mazemefo, you will know how demonic Nnamdi Kanu is. He's responsible. He hire all people against people. When he finished deceiving, I hope you don't tell Mazemefo. I say, no, I don't tell Mazemefo. And honestly, I don't tell Mazemefo anything. Holy, holy, holy. Very unfortunate. Rubbish. Anyway, that is just by the way. Coming back to our line of thought this evening, our people must understand that the Biafra will fight for. Machineries has been put in place. Everything that will give us Biafra is out there already. We just need to take advantage of this opportunity. And of course, this moment, we must continue to caution ourselves. We must continue to do the needful. I'm joined by our daddy in the Lord, Mazi Obidi Obinu. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, my Reverend. Thank you. The work continues. I've always told you that there is no amount of blackmail, no amount of intimidation, no amount of threat that can stop this project. We have been around, right? More than 3 months. You fizzle out. We are not fizzling out. We're here. The truth must prevail. It doesn't matter how long it takes. You must recall that the mission, or rather the gospel, did not start with thousands of people. There were so many thousands of people following all kinds of magicians, including the bad Jesus that we read about in the Acts of Apostles. But the disciples were only 12. At the tail end of our Lord Yeshua's mission, I know a lot of people are listening and saying, what is this man talking? But this is my personal belief. and on this rock, I build my house. At the tail end of his mission, he commissioned 72 people and sent them out in pairs. And the rest is story, because we know that the first massive conversion was after Peter and John healed the lame man at the beautiful gate. And people heard about it. Remember, this beautiful gate is the gate of a temple where a lot of crowds goes to. And this is the beginning of the spread of the gospel. And people were being added every day. The miracles begins to happen. Miracles happen because people were faithful and believers, and things were happening. The church began to grow. Today in Nigeria, we have seen a lot of scavengers who did not know how the sufferings of the 12 apostles and the 72 pairs that were sent out without clothing, and even the St. Paul's who wrote the epistles and every work that he did. All these people that are, deceiving the masses have not thought about how these guys suffered to bring the good news. But that said, I just said these few things for a reason. I heard when you said that you're not a politician and you can never be a politician. But you will support anybody that wants to be. And I laughed to myself here. It gave me joy that at least somebody is standing with me. Okay, all I need to do is to say things the way it is. People that want to politic, it's up to you. You can politic and do whatever you want to do. The political education that Dr. Kadu talks about is ongoing. He comes here and educates our people on what they need to do. I've also been a part of it by telling our people to get their PVCs. I said it in your, maybe last month, and I've continued to say that you get your PVCs, then it becomes a leveraging source for you. You get it. I've always said it. And I don't think it's a mixed message when I say these things to our people to, first of all, do what you have to do. But also, I don't think that when I end up my discussions with support what the Nina are doing, as a whatever message there, because what Ninas are saying to people now, for all these participating groups to close shops. Close shops mean for even the indigenous of those nationalities. If you are from Benue, don't even go and participate. Don't even do campaign. That's what they're saying. And so when I talk about supporting what they're doing, I'm not saying it because I love to be setting out or speaking from both sides of my mouth, according to Mazimefo. But I have learned over this time that I will be the last person to come out and condemn somebody that is not condemning me, or talk about somebody that is not fighting against me. There's no need for that. Whether they work for so many years now, remember, we always talk about this project, that it could take several years. It's okay. If they can do it, let them go ahead and do it. We have seen a lot of people amongst us talking about Igbo nation. My Reverend, are you going to go down fighting with people talking about Igbo nation? I'm not do that. That's what I'm saying here. And the people talking about Igbo nation is starting on the indigenous nationalities. All I'm calling them is to do that which they say they are going to do. Okay, we are all worried. Whatever that will straighten that contraption up, whatever that will make it better, equity and justice. Are we not here in 2019 when Ohaneze Ndigbo, when Nyanwodo was the head of Ohaneze Ndigbo, they were all talking about the devolution of power. If it doesn't happen, no Nigeria, or however they put it, it's like all of them. We are talking about there must be a devolution of power. Okay? If everybody has gone with that faith, with devolution of power, what do we get today? Zero from the devolution. Because that time they position themselves as the people who know it all, who knows the way to go. Today, we have Obiozo talking about Igbo presidency. And most of them, when they're saying things, they don't even know the kind of threatening that if Igbo presidency does not happen in 2023, that they will do something. Am I going to go there and start fighting them? No, all I can do is to point out these people that they are trying to present in the name of Igbo presidency. Just that people will see that that agenda may not be realistic. However, if they get their Igbo president, is that what is he going to do anything for me? If the people that are presenting themselves already, we know that they are not working with the people today. For instance, Ojus Okano, Rochas Okorocha, Payo Sanyem, and the rest of other ones. They have not been friendly with the people. So why do you think your life is going to change come 2023 if they ever install them? Because that's all they can do. We saw Katrina Lang doing her bidding, dancing with the Fulani group, meeting with all Jews. She has left her diplomatic mission that she was assigned for in Nigeria, and she's doing a personal bidding. Okay? So we are witnessing all these things. So all we are saying, whatever you want to do, that will bring prospect. In the morning when I said this thing, I was saying that if all the components of that NINA, everybody in the NINAs will stand up. Because usually what the other groups do is they come, we are doing this. And once there are people come out and be in the front, they will all run back and go get their share from Nigeria. And I've said this before. So we are not going full blown and start making noise in our area. Please, people, go get your PVCs. And I said it in another way. Come here, baby, I will be order. Your PVC gives you that leverage, that gives you that power to make the decision of who is going to represent you. Not all these old people, they are not old as far as I'm concerned, but they call themselves politicians. They've been in this politics for 20, 25 years. And they have not done anything substantial to the people. Why are they fronting themselves now? Okay, so go get your PVCs. Be ready. If the last day, if they are not going to do you another sign, sale, and deliver, we'll vote. We use our PVCs effectively. We use it and watch them count the votes. Just like I love what happened in Anambra State. They stood there. They are counting. They are counting like when we are in a nursery school. They were counting to make sure that their vote counts. So that's it. For me, I will not be a part of saying that somebody's project is stalled because I don't know what they have. Let them do their thing. If it's what I can support, God knows in heaven, if I can support it in any way. By the way, I'm here in the United States. If they have resolved within all these meetings that they are having, that every representative from all over the indigenous groups in Nigeria will come out and say, we are not part of this, because that's the expectation. That is what closing shops, political shop means. Not run around and start fighting one another. No. The people from all these regions must conscientiously say, if they are representing their people, that we are not going into 2023 until we sit down and talk about how Nigeria will move forward. That's their message. And I will support that till tomorrow. Okay? And when I bring it up here, before then, I always talk about the de-facto customary government, because that's where I'm working with. All we're asking our people is to make themselves available, come out and participate. There's so many areas to participate so that we can take over what belongs to us. We already have the governance code that you can look up anywhere. The governance code provides a framework for what we're doing. So this is not like magicians. This is not, I mean, with your governance code, you can always ask questions. Oh, this is contained here. What is going on? Not what we just went through where there is nothing. Nothing. We are just building Chukwokadiama and Elohaz that are going to come and deliver us. What we are asking you is to make yourself available. Just like the last speaker. He said that he would wait. Disassociate yourself from all these groups that are out there. Radio Nigeria has sponsored him. Every time it's always a claim of allegation and unsubstantiated. Somebody up to turn a radio upon new. He thinks he's fighting. He thinks he's having views. He thinks he's making a living. Meanwhile, you are stuck wherever you are. I told them in the morning. Some of you spent 10 years to go through Sahara Desert and Libya before you arrived in Europe. Look at it. Next 15 years, you'll be placed in a senior home if they will ever accommodate you. Because I know some of you who are in your 60s, you still think you're a bomb boy in Europe, and you are playing this nonsense. Whenever you see people talking the truth thing, you come there and charge up your phone because you're enjoying free Wi-Fi. What made the person mugu? What made the person mugu? This is where we are today. That a lot of us have lost it completely, antagonizing one another. Verbal support to any prospect is not a bad thing. You keep watching. Let them do what they say they do. For us, we say we are doing what we're doing. Nobody is going to stop this project. The emphasis on Biafra de-facto government, customary government, was laid in the first day. Go listen to the chairman the first day he came to the radio and what he outlined that we're going to do. And there's no turning back about it. So that's my contribution this afternoon. And I keep asking people, Mbadike comes here to make an announcement. He calls his number. Okompo comes here and did the same thing. Judge ONYIBE is on this platform. You can reach him. Chidera comes and make a broadcast. Okwi just started again. Okay, and so many other posts and information, links you can use to be a part of what we're doing. Don't come here expecting for us to be giving you money to be bringing us false information. Because you know what? We all need what we are looking for. It's not just about me. It's not about you. But it's a collective effort. If we come here with truthfulness, if we come here with humility, I can guarantee you there's no way God in heaven will not help us to get to our destination. With that, I want to thank you so much, my Reverend. I will ask God to continue to keep blessed and more importantly, to preserve you. You are doing a great job. And I will say to all Biafrans, God bless Biafra. And God bless the indigenous people of Biafra, not IPONC. And God bless all lovers of freedom. Thank you very much for having me. There were.
Thank you very much, sir. We must continue to progress. There is no two ways about it. We understand the processes we have been through, but I continue to say, with this confidence assurance, we know we will get it right. We will surely get home. Don't make any mistake about that. You're inching closer to the end of our program this evening, and I sincerely appreciate those of you who called in to make your positive contribution. I sincerely appreciate you. An apology to those of you that I may not be able to take their call at this moment. Tomorrow is another day, and we'll continue from where we stop. Get in contact with the de-facto customary government. Get in touch with any of our administrators on Biafra Nation Alliance. Be part of this great move so that in the end we can be able to successfully initiate or introduce processes that will lead us home. Thank you and good night from here.
I called for the creation of the sovereign state of Biafra. It is within my right as a legislator to do that on the floor of the House of Representatives. If I don't do it there, where else do you want me to do? Do you want me to carry arms?
country bros. As we dey draw close to Nigeria election come 2023 for inside the land of Biafra, make you also know say today dey for the center where they make decision not the only way to restore Biafra, and this now why you go only fit score goal if you there for inside pitch. If you know the inside pitch, forget it. And then why would they tell you make you go get your voters card? Where would they also they call PVC? For now, if you want me to get effective and peaceful governance for inside the Biafra land, and this now why would they encourage you make you go call your voters card, also known as PVC, for effective and peaceful governance for inside Biafra land. The people will bring you this message now. Biafra de facto customary government.